All right, friends. Gene Burnett here from GeneBurnett.com. I got a short one for you today. This is a kind of a silly one, but I really think it's worth doing, and I'm going to basically sing the praises of silly dancing today. Now, I'm not going to silly dance for you because I'm so good at it that it will blow your mind, and you will be so discouraged that you'll never do it. And the whole point of this is that I want you to do it, or at least to suggest that you investigate doing it and see about doing it. Try it on. So what I mean by silly dancing is I mean with or without music, definitely alone or with somebody that you trust a great deal, because you want to move outside the box that you usually move in, our usual movements, you know. You want to goof around and do silly movements that are kind of eccentric and odd, and try to do movements that you've never done before, like you've never done this. So you do that, you know, something like that. It can be to the music, it can be against the music, it can be silent without music, but the important thing is to move without thought, without self-judgment, without self-criticism. There's no way to do this wrong. Silly dancing is not innate. There's no way to do it wrong. You just wiggle around and move in the silliest, kookiest, out-of-the-box way you can. It's really great for your brain to move in ways that it doesn't normally do, so you don't start to restrict your brain's possibilities of what it thinks can be done with your body, because you really don't know what your body's going to require or what life's going to require of your body in the next minute or two, right? Could be anything. So the thing is to move in weird, silly, kooky, goofy, funny, like the kind of dancing you do with your little 3-year-old niece or something, like just crazy stuff. And do it for one whole song. I recommend doing it once a day, but once a week is also great. The main caveat here, the main warning is be careful if you're not in good condition, if you're not already a dancer, a mover, a Tai Chi person, or a yogi or whatever, if you're not already pretty fluent in your body, you can, through intent and through just the energy and the idea, you can get carried away, and your intent can write a check that your muscles and bones can't cash, and you can hurt yourself. So if I started doing something like this with my leg and I crashed into a wall, so you have to restrain it a little bit, because you're always going to be somewhat in a box. I mean, you're a human being on Earth, right? So you can only move so many ways, given gravity and given our spatial happenings and given our constitution and bodily stuff. So move in a way that's within your, low energy risk circle, but at the same time is weird and eccentric and odd and, just goofy, and get as wild and goofy as you can. If you want some ideas about how to dance silly, search SNL, Steve Martin, Gilda Radner. They did a silly dance together way back in the original Saturday Night Live. SNL, Saturday Night Live, Steve Martin, Gilda Radner, two of the great silly dancers of all time. So watch that dance, and that'll give you some ideas. It can be any kind of music, classical music, it can be rock and roll, it can be hip hop, it can be folk, it can be any kind of music, any kind of sound. But get out of the usual box. Move in ways you don't normally move. And again, I'm not doing actual silly dancing, I'm just suggesting it, because if I did it, you'd have to sit there weeping at your keyboard for the rest of the day, and you'd never silly dance, because it would just be, you'd say, what's the point, But the point is not to be competitive. Don't compare yourself to my brilliant silly dancing. Do your silly dance, which I'm terrible at. I can only do mine, you can only do yours. I can do mine, you can do yours. Okay? So do some silly dancing. That's my recommendation. Good for your heart, good for your soul, good for your body, and good for your brain. Take good care. I'm trying to make these videos to be helpful for people out there. I don't have ads on my station unless I happen to do a cover song and it hits somebody else's copyright. They might put ads on it, but I don't have ads on my stuff. I'm doing this to be helpful. I have donation jars all over my website, GeneBurnett.com, and I have tip jars all over my YouTube world as well. Donations are always appreciated and make my day, actually. But that's not as important to me as just being helpful. So if you can let me know in the comments if any of this is helpful to you when you're out there silly dancing and doing your thing, then let me know. That's always nice. So take care till I see you again next, and good luck with your training.